Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast, Kevin and Chuck, or should I say, Brave Skywalker. Now, what you guys don't know is, ever since we've had this crappier audio, it's because we were using Squadcast. Now, if you're liking the audio that you're hearing today, then Squadcast wasn't actually the problem. But because we were recording it remotely, we used some kind of headset that really did a crappy job. It said it was a good microphone, and who knows? So today we're trying out new microphones, and hopefully Kevin...
let us know on the Facebook page or email us. Let us know if it's better or worse.
Sounds like Kevin's coming in a lot better, but we're going to see, and you guys give us, the final review. But the reason I said Brave Skywalker is because every time you open up in Squadcast, it actually picks a name for you and makes a recommendation. Now, when we started recording today, Kevin was, what was it? Roaming
Warrior.
Roaming Warrior. Yeah. Now, he isn't that cool that he was able to hold on to that name. No. And when it booted him out because it recognized he really wasn't, up to the part, then this is what we get. So anyway, today we're going to actually talk about soap. We're going to talk about laundry. We're going to talk about staying clean in the apocalypse, how to have the clean bed sheets, the lemony, fresh smelling pillows, or whatever pillows are supposed to smell like. I guess the idea is you're really just looking for them to not smell like ass.
Right. And one of the most important things that a lot of people miss out on when they take their showers here and when everything's working fine.
It's not washing their ass?
You're not washing your crack. You got to wash the crack to keep it clean. All
right. Well,
no woman is ever going to give you a second blowjob if you're not washing your crack.
Because when they get their head down there, they're going to know.
They're going to know.
All right. So, Kevin, that's disturbing. Once again,
it's important information to get out there. I feel like a lot of people aren't realizing this.
All right.
To all the young men out there.
The young men.
Before any big date. Wash that crack.
Wash the crack. Now, my recommendation to you is they sell those ones where you have the shower head and the hand sprayer kind of thing.
Right.
That's the key. They're only like $39, and you just throw that up there. You can do it without tools. Have a fresh bunghole.
Yeah.
All right.
Get it clean. Right. Crescent Wrench will do all the work for you. Just go out to Lowe's and pick it up.
All right. So, yeah. So that's where you need to be. But the big thing about having soap in the apocalypse is, how everybody's always like, oh, you need to stockpile antibiotics and you need to be ready for, infection and whatever. And you're like, shit, I cut my hands all the time. I don't get an infection. It's not a big deal. Well, the reason is because you wash your hands. You wash your clothes. You're not surrounded by bacteria and nastiness. When you don't have soap and you're not washing your hands, you're not using proper toilets, and you're just crapping out in the woods, and things are getting a little messy, if you will.
Right.
Soap becomes a big thing.
Hands and face every day.
And having clean sheets just will make life better, right?
That's right.
So that's why I thought, it was something maybe to address. So there's a couple things if you're going to set up to make soap in the apocalypse that you might want to buy now. Now, one, I'd recommend just buy a freaking bunch of bars of soap, and then we can solve a lot of problems.
A bar of soap that's wrapped up will
Yes.
last 3 years.
How many?
3. 3
Okay.
years, and honestly, there's no reason to not to stock up on it. Soap is cheap.
Okay. So
it's a lot easier to buy it now than to make it later.
yes, that is definitely true. So if you're like, you know what, I'm going to be the soap making king of the new world, and you know how the new world, right? So you might want to buy a stainless steel pot. Now, stainless steel, because an aluminum pot will have problems when you put the lye in there.
Right. You can use glass bowls and things like that.
Glass works.
Stainless steel is much better, especially for cooking. You can't really cook well with a glass bowl.
Right. Next, you're going to want a stainless steel spoon. You are going to want a wooden spoon, maybe a nonstick baking sheet, and then a Pyrex glass measuring cup.
Right. The more measuring cups you have, the better, in different sizes.
Now,
obviously.
all this stuff needs to be separate from what you plan to cook and prepare food with. Just something about eating lye. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right.
Not really part of a nutritious diet. Lye.
Now, you're thinking, well, I'll wash it. But will you wash it? And will you have soap?
Will you have soap to wash it with?
All right.
And hot water
now,
to soak it in.
We also recommend safety glasses. And when we say safety glasses, I actually am talking about goggles, like where they come around the sides and the edges.
Right.
That's going to help you out. They do recommend having some vinegar on hand to pour on yourself if you ended up burning yourself with the lye. That's not a bad thing, but that's about it. Now, as far as chemicals that are going to be consumable, all right, to make soap, you're going to need rendered animal fat. Now, Kevin, do you know how to render animal fat?
No, but I watched Fight Club one time, and they said the best fat for soap making is human fat. I've got a little extra I could spare probably, but I mean, I've never tried it. I don't know what the difference is, so we'll see what happens.
All right. So basically, to render fat, you're basically cooking off all the impurities. That would be proteins, pieces of animal tissue, blood, any grossness in there.
You're going to cook it the same way you cook ribs. Low and slow.
Is that right? Slow and low? All right. Like the Beastie Boys?
That's right.
All right. Sorry. Some of you guys might not get that. I don't know. So anyway, basically you're going to take the big chunks of fat, you're going to put them in a pot, you're going to let it heat up and evaporate anything off. Now, what also is going to happen is it's going to solidify all the solids that are in there. And then you're going to take a strainer and you're going to strain out all those solids.
Right. That's what you would call impurities. You strain straight out all the solids there.
Then you're left with lard or tallow or something, whatever. It basically depends what type of animal it came from with the name that you give it. But either way, we're going to call it lard for our purposes of making soap. But yes, technically there are different names depending what animal you just got this thick, fatty substance from.
Right. Generally about 120 degrees is what you're looking for long term on that when you're heating it up.
All right.
You might want to have a thermometer as you go through that, because heating it too much, you're gonna burn it, and too low, you're not going to get everything out of it.
All right. Now, so the next thing, so now we have lard, right? All right. Or rendered animal fat. Right. Next, we're going to need clean water. All right.
Distilled water is very cheap. If you buy it now, you can get a gallon of it for $2.
Now, I would recommend if you are planning on being the soap maker for the apocalypse, I would recommend buying like a 50-pound bag of lye at
Right.
Lowe's or something like that. That's
It's
your
not
easiest
expensive.
move. Because believe it or not, you only need 2.2 ounces of lye and then 3.5 ounces of water to mix this up and do it, or you're stuck making your own lye. Now, I'm going to cover that quick for those of you who failed to plan, but I got to tell you, that 50-pound bag will last forever. You know, you're not going to have problems. Basically, that 50-pound bag, you're using the 2.2 ounces of lye to every pound of lard, which has given you like 12 to 15 bars of soap, depending on how you do it. But anyway, if we want to make lye, no problem. So you've probably heard, oh, well, you make it from ash from a fire. Well, that's true. But for the most part, that's all anybody ever seems to know. Well, yeah, you make it from ash, but then that's it. So it's really pretty simple. The problem is you can't tell how concentrated it is when you're doing it, from ash.
Right.
The Indians had all kinds of tricks. They would put a feather in it and see when it would dissolve, things like that. But I don't know how much it dissolves or how to do that. So I can't really convey that to you. I just know that there were some tricks passed on, with the old school ways.
Right. If you rub it in your eyes and you go blind,
that was probably strong enough. Or if you put it on your hand, like in Fight Club.
Right. You have to have some moisture added. So
yeah, you got to spit on it. Because at first you're like, oh, that's not so bad. Right. Well, this is already going to be moist. So that's the thing. So the way you do it, take the ash and you're going to put it in a strainer. Okay. Now, then you're going to pour the water through the ash into that glass Pyrex container.
Right.
That is going to already be lye and water combined. Because basically the lye is going to filter through with the water.
Right.
And it's going to leave the soot. Now, really, you want to go for about 4 or 5 ounces of that and mix that with a pound of lard. And that's going to get you in the neighborhood. But the thing is, you're going to get the 4 or 5 ounces. Then that lye and water chemical reaction is actually going to make that glass heat up and get hot. And that will also happen if you just add your 2.2 ounces of lye to water. It's going to heat up. You need to let it heat up, but then cool back down before you're going to mix it with the lard.
Right.
At that point, you're going to take it, you're going to heat the lard up to 120 degrees.
Right.
And you're going to stir the water into the lard. Now, this is the water lye mixture with a wooden spoon until it's basically going to thicken up. Sometimes this happens in 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes it's like 5 or 6 or 10 minutes. But in theory, you should see a distinct change, and it'll look almost like the consistency of a milkshake.
Right.
When it does thicken up like this, you pour it out on a cookie sheet and let it cool, and that's going to be basically your bars of soap. The slower the cooling process, the better the soap is going to end up being. So what they typically do is like put a blanket over it and stuff like that to keep it kind of warm, so it's a gradual, cooling process. Now, obviously, you can go online and find all kind of fragrance and herbs and things you can put in your soap, maybe some rosemary or lavender or some shit like that. And that might make you feel better that it smells nice. I hate that smelly shit. I always buy like all free and clear so I don't have to smell any of that crap. But, that's up to you.
Right. I mean, if you feel, especially flamboyant, go with the lavender. I like lavender. Who doesn't?
Mint.
Citrus. It's all good. It's all
Whatever.
Good. Another thing that I sometimes think about adding to soap is Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh, shit. Did you just sneak that in there? Oh, my Lord.
All right. Now, you're going to want to let your soap age. So this really
This is
has
like cheese.
right. This is really for consistency. You're going to want to let the soap cure for about 24 hours.
All right.
Before you do any cutting, before you do any, making it in bars, whatever, whatever shapes you're making your soap into, let it cure for 24 hours and then wrap it up in parchment paper.
Okay.
And you're going to want to let it cure for about 4 weeks because it's either going to be crumbly or it's going to be, a little too wet. But letting it cure will cure those problems. It'll, make it into a solid bar.
Okay.
And you're going to want to wrap it and keep it covered. Now, organic soap that you make at home will last about 2 years.
Okay.
A year and a half, 2 years, and that should be pretty good for anything you're making post-apocalypse. But regular bars of soap, if you rotate them properly, and all of a sudden you can't get soap, then the soap that you have in your cabinet is going to last you 3 years. So that's pretty good.
I think easily 3 years.
Learning to be a chemist and learning to run a still, those are all complex professions. If you want to figure this all out right now, God be with you.
And there's a million sites on the internet. Obviously, you can mix it with your goat milk and shit like that and make it extra creamy and nice for your skin and whatever. I'm just trying to make it so you don't get infections or stink like ass all day.
Right. And that's really important, especially if you're sneaking up on like wild game, or you're sneaking up on your wife. She don't want you to smell like that,
No. Yeah, but once she starts to smell, I think she won't even notice.
Yeah, I've been in that place in my life where nobody notices the other person's stink. We've been camping for 2 weeks and we've only bathed in streams. What are you gonna do?
All right. Now there is a lot of different ways to deal with laundry in the apocalypse. Now, if you remember way back in the day, the girls used to, the women, how it is. They would go down to the creek and they would rub the clothes against rocks and clean it out like that. And they could work out the little, stains and whatever by kind of mushing it into the rock. Then time progressed and we got into the washboard.
Right.
Now, the washboard is nice and you can still buy them and they're really cheap. You can find some old antique-y looking ones, or believe it or not, you can buy some new modern ones. Now, the reason they're not considered ideal by a lot of people is they do tend to wear out the clothes.
Right.
Clothes used to be a little bit sturdier than they are today, I think, also.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're a little more delicate.
Right. I'm delicate. I'm more delicate.
Kevin's pretty delicate, so there is that. But you do what you got to do, right? Do you want to stink like ass? Do you want to get some ass?
Both of those are important.
Maybe,
things to think about.
Maybe the washboard isn't such a bad idea. Now, there's also the idea of like plunger type techniques, the plunger and bucket style, they call it.
Right.
And really, if you think of a clean plunger and a 5-gallon bucket, and you work it up and down and mix up those clothes in a bucket full of soapy water,
mm-hmm.
They are going to come clean. Now, this takes up a bit of water to do that. It's also going to eat up your soap supply. Now, you're like, well, Chuck, you still didn't tell me how to make laundry soap. Well, I hate to say it, there's not really a good way. I've been looking, and a lot of it's like, you know what? Buy a couple of gallons of concentrated shit and hope for the best.
Right.
And they sell like special concentrated stuff, but to get like 5 gallons, which gives you about 1,200 loads, a lot of them are like $100, and that's a lot of your prepper budget. So You got to kind of weigh what to do. Next step, you can also get like a cheese grater. Again, I would recommend not using the same one you use for cheese.
Right.
And you can shave off little bits of the soap and work that into the bucket. If you are actually doing the washing against the rocks or a washboard, you can actually rub the bar of soap right over the clothes.
Right. And it's really not bad. Sometimes it leaves like kind of a waxy feel to some of your lighter linens. But I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. If you were to make bar soap, you could probably get by washing some clothes using the bar soap.
Right.
Also,
definitely
you can stock up on laundry detergent. That also lasts a long time.
Long time, the powdered especially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they do sell the concentrated liquid and claim that it'll last. I don't really know. I haven't tried it. I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing
Bleach
on
is
that
also
one.
something that I think that most preppers kind of overlook. It only really has about a 6-month shelf life.
Yes.
But if you keep it out of the sun and keep it in a cold area like your basement, it'll last for a year or so. So I mean,
Okay.
that's really, it doesn't hurt to have a couple of extra bottles of bleach in with your laundry stuff, and just rotate it out. You're really not going to lose any of its strength over the course of 6 months. But after that, it starts to get a little questionable.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the gist of that. Now, then it comes to drying your clothes. Now, some people complain when they use a clothesline that the clothes are a little stiff. Now, I was thinking about clotheslines because I keep seeing on the internet that they invented a new solar wind power way of drying your clothes. And they ran up the string and they ran up the string and put the clothespins in it and hung it out. And I was like, oh, okay.
I guess that's solar powered, right?
Solar and wind, baby.
All right.
Something to think about. Another thing that I actually saw on one of the websites when I was going through this was you may want to consider a mop bucket.
It has the squeeze,
Yeah. If you buy like the commercial, like the janitor at your kid's school uses, mop bucket, you leave the wringer out to the side. You got your plunger action in there, obviously. Plunger sold separately.
Right.
And then you drop the wringer back in there and you can wring out the clothes and save that soapy water to keep going for the next.
Keep using.
So it's not a bad way to go. Now, I wouldn't recommend using the same actual one that the guy used at the school for the floor.
Right.
But if you bought that same one brand new.
Right. There's been a lot of kids' vomit that's gone through that.
Kids' vomit, blood, a lot of grossness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone
kids
through
are disgusting.
Kids are disgusting. So, you may want to consider not reusing one. Look for the new mop bucket.
All right.
They do sell a lot of off-grid type, like low DC voltage, washing machines and things like that. You're still running into the problem of needing a long-term supply of soap. But you may want to look into that. And if you're really setting up your off-grid location or something like that, that may be a good way to go.
All right. Now, as far as cleaning goes, I think that it's really the more and more I do this podcast, the more and more I realize the need for a still. You can distill water with a still.
Yes.
You can make alcohol with a still. Distilling a lot of this stuff makes things a lot easier, and it's really not that hard to put a still together. So any of you guys that run stills out there, whether it's for water, for alcohol, for soap, any of that sort of stuff, really give you props. But if you guys have anything that you're running at home, post that on our Facebook. I'd really love to see that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. No, that really is, a neat way to go. And that's the thing. You got to realize you can take some pretty horrible water, including seawater, and run it through a still, and you're going to have fresh, clean drinking water.
Right.
And that's pretty amazing, because really, basically the clean water is going to evaporate at a different temperature than all the other crappy things. And you pull it at the right time, you're going to be good to go. Yeah, that's what I got on that.
All right. I just wanted to make an announcement real quick before we start wrapping things up. As the king of my world.
Yeah, you're the king.
I've made a ruling that this next Monday coming up, and I think most of you guys listen to this podcast on Mondays, and every other Monday moving forward, I've put out a decree that every Monday shall be Malt Liquor Monday.
Malt liquor. Nice.
Right now, I'm working on some Old English. Schlitz is also a classic. I like the 211 malt liquor. I mean, there's a lot of amazing products out there, and I recommend that you start using them up on Mondays.
All right. Well, with that, I also have to point out, in case you guys haven't noticed, kind of switched to uploading this podcast on Sunday nights instead of Saturday nights. I think that's going to be more the norm that you can start to expect. Basically, different, job situations and things like that have changed the times that we're recording and able to do this. So that's how we're going to work around it. I do think that, you guys can stay connected in the Facebook group, and it's nice to see everybody talking and interacting, and Todd and Hamish and all you guys who are, all the time sharing the love there and, keeping things up. Darren, we really appreciate it and appreciate you guys listening. I have been dropping some of the classic episodes, some of the ones you guys haven't heard in a while. I think later this week I'm going to drop one on the Federal Reserve. See what I get to. But just a big transition. We've been doing different things in our lives and getting stuff organized, but hopefully the audio is a little better, and hopefully now things are getting a little more settled and a little more regular. Me and Kevin will be able to plan things out and get things a little more organized. So should be on the up. So with that, stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
The Survival and Basic Badass Podcast is a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.